Now at 5, hospitals in Kansas City see a sharp rise in COVID cases. We're going to learn how local hospitals are faring. Plus, Joplin police arrest a woman after recovering 98 catalytic converters. And an educational organization for Native American students hosts a holiday-themed scholarship fundraiser.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
COVID hospitalizations in the area are continuing to rise following the Thanksgiving holiday. This is KOIM News at 5. We spoke with 4 hospitals across our area, and all of them say while COVID numbers are rising, they're still manageable, for now anyway. Officials with Mercy say we won't know the true extent of the holiday numbers for another 3 to 8 weeks. Another concern at all 4 hospitals is staffing. Right now, officials say they can handle the caseload, but they do have concerns if numbers continue to rise. We're going to have more on this story for you tonight at 6. Doug said it would rain today. It's raining today. Doug.
Yeah, a little wet out there. We've had on and off showers, even a few thunderstorms in our far southern counties over the past several hours. Mainly areas north of I-44, it's just very light showers and a little bit of drizzle, but a little bit heavier once you get into our southern counties, really from northeastern Oklahoma, Grand Lake, up through Newton County, McDonald County, Berry County, and also Lawrence County. And then even heavier once you get into northwestern Arkansas. But most of this is fairly light. You can see from Neosho to Pineville and then over toward Grand Lake, and then a little bit heavier once you get into Berry County. But this is going to continue as we go through the evening hours, just on and off showers, especially in our southern counties. Everybody else, just a lot of clouds and a little bit of drizzle. Eventually this rain's going to move out. So what does the weekend look like? We'll look at that here in a bit.
See you then. Police have recovered nearly 100 catalytic converters, a truckload, while serving a search warrant on North Walnut in Joplin as part of an ongoing investigation into a rash of catalytic converter thefts around the area. Investigators estimate this haul is worth about $60,000. They've arrested the resident, Pamela Sims, and this isn't her first brush with the law. We're going to have more on that for you tonight at 6. A former suburban Minneapolis police officer took the stand today in her manslaughter trial for the shooting of a young man. Kim Potter says she meant to pull her taser on Dante Wright, but accidentally fired her gun. The defense then rested its case, which now goes to the jury. Reporter Jennifer Mayerly has the story.
It just went chaotic.
Kim Potter took the stand in her own defense and sobbed as she described the moment she fired the fatal shot at 20-year-old Dante Wright.
I remember yelling, "Taser, taser, taser," and nothing happened. And then he told me I shot him.
The former Brooklyn Center police officer is charged with manslaughter in Wright's death last April. She says she meant to fire her taser, but mistakenly grabbed her gun after seeing the look on her fellow officer's face as he struggled with Wright during a traffic stop.
He had a look of fear on his face. It's nothing I'd seen before.
Police pulled Wright over for expired license plate tags and an air freshener hanging from his rearview mirror, which is illegal in Minnesota. They discovered he had an outstanding warrant. Video from Officer Potter's body cam shows police attempting to arrest Wright. Before he gets back in his car, Potter then pulls out her gun and shouts taser, before shooting Wright in the chest.
I shot him! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Under cross-examination, Potter agreed that she did not see a weapon on Wright.
Never saw a gun.
No.
She broke down while watching video of the scene, and the judge called a recess. Before Potter took the stand, a defense witness testified that an officer under high stress is more likely to make a mistake and confuse a gun for a taser. Jennifer Mayerly, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Potter resigned from the police force days after the shooting. She testified she didn't want anything bad to happen to her coworkers. President Biden's nearly $2 trillion social spending and climate plan remains in limbo as Congress barrels toward holiday recess. It now looks like the legislation could be stalled until after the new year, with reports of talks breaking down between the White House and West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin. For now, Democrats are reiterating an emphasis on passing voting rights legislation while the other plans wait. 3 lawsuits seeking to blame former President Donald Trump for the U.S. Capitol riots will go to court in 2022, it seems. The judge says he'll hold hearings on whether the cases should be dismissed on January 10th. Democratic lawmakers filed 2 of the lawsuits claiming Donald Trump and others incited the riot through their words and actions. 2 U.S. Capitol police officers filed the 3rd lawsuit claiming the former Trump directed his followers to assault them that day. Neither Donald Trump nor his advisors have been charged with any crimes. An area organization that supports Native American students hosted a scholarship fundraiser with a holiday twist. The All Tribes Education Consortium, or ATEC, sold chili and cinnamon rolls, holiday candies, and arts and crafts as part of the Waterlicious Market in Quapaw, Oklahoma. All of the money raised from the event is going to the organization's scholarship fund for Native American students.
We're a nonprofit. We solely depend on fundraisers and donations. We raise money for Native American students here in the area for college. It's not a large scholarship, but it's enough to help with books and getting them started.
The group also sold raffle tickets for a festive topiary tree in a sleigh. Still ahead, last-minute holiday shopping.
Many popular holiday gifts are in short supply. I'm Michael George with expert tips to make sure your kids get their gifts on time.
And next in Health Watch, we'll break down the pros and cons of different COVID-19 tests.
KOAM TV is...
Topping today's Health Watch, California researchers studying the order of COVID-19 symptoms during the first wave in 2020 say a cough is what usually showed up first for Americans, followed by a fever. Since COVID is spread through respiratory droplets, that made COVID particularly infectious in the U.S. With the holidays almost here, many families are discussing how to stay safe, and for some, that'll include COVID-19 testing before getting together for celebrations. Reporter Bradley Blackburn takes a look at the many options for COVID-19 testing.
Jane Cannon is celebrating Christmas. All of the adults attending are vaccinated, but she says some family members who are traveling will take COVID tests beforehand.
We have 2 young kiddos that are not able to be vaccinated yet, so kind of keeping all of our precautions surrounded that fact.
It's another piece of information that you can use to keep you and your family safe.
Dr. Emily Volk is president of the College of American Pathologists. She says the gold standard for COVID testing is the PCR. It looks for the virus's genetic material and amplifies it so it can be detected in the lab.
98 to 99% accuracy rate with PCR versus somewhere in the, 80 to 85% for rapid tests using the antigen methodology. Some tests actually have worse test performance than that.
But Dr. Volk says rapid antigen tests have advantages because they can be run in minutes.
Those results can help inform your behavior.
Dr. Anthony Fauci says some preliminary information shows not all of the diagnostic tests will be accurate for the Omicron variant.
We're hearing and we're in the process of doing large screening to determine which of these antigen point of care rapid tests still maintain their accuracy of diagnosis.
And while there's been a big demand for home tests, it's key to follow the instructions precisely. The test can be less accurate if you don't. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Dr. Volk also says if you've been exposed to COVID-19 and you take a rapid test that's negative, she recommends getting the gold standard PCR test in that situation. The PCR will be the more reliable if you're asymptomatic and testing after a possible exposure. Throat cancer cases among men are rising in all 50 states and among women living in the Midwest and Southeast. That's according to Texas researchers who also found an increase in large tumors and deaths. More than 70% of throat cancer cases are caused by the human papilloma virus. A new study finds violence between people who are intimate is severely underreported in emergency rooms, and most of the cases are women. Researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital also says emergency physicians are unprepared to identify and assist male victims of domestic violence, and abused men are less likely to seek help. Those popular nursery rhymes are doing more than just boosting your child's development. Medical experts in Philadelphia say songs like Jack and Jill, Rockabye Baby, and Five Little Monkeys, they help teach kids valuable lessons about how to avoid possible head injuries during playtime. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, why a federal judge overturned a settlement involving a major opioid manufacturer.
Plus, we have some showers sticking around for the evening hours, but what about the weekend? We're going to look at that coming up.
The sweet nectar from
Well, it's turned out to be kind of a dreary, kind of wet day across the region, especially the farther south that you live. The rain has been a little bit heavier as we've gone through the daytime hours. Showers, thunderstorms in our southern counties, and then just kind of on and off showers all the way up to about the I-44 corridor. And then north of Interstate 44, not much rain at all, especially in southeastern Kansas. Really just a little bit of drizzle throughout the daytime hours. But you can see the bands still going on. Quite a bit of rain actually in our far southern counties. But again, Pittsburgh, Joplin, just drizzle. Most of the rain is south of Interstate 44 from northeastern Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas, and then extreme southwestern parts of Missouri. So if we zoom into the metro from Pittsburgh to Neosho, Carthage to Miami, just a few light showers right through Newton County, and that is just about it. Heavier rains once you get farther south. So here's Grand Lake. We're looking into McDonald County, Anderson, Pineville, Goodman, and then we can track a little bit farther east. Berry County, Cassville, down toward Eagle Rock, Table Rock Lake, all picking up some very heavy amounts of rain. This extends a little bit farther south into Benton County from Bella Vista, Bentonville, over toward Rogers, Arkansas. And look at the rainfall amounts. A little sliver of about a ½ inch from Jasper County up into Dade County. All these lighter blues, really 1/10 to about 1/4 of an inch. Once you get into Newton and McDonald County, then over an inch of rain, then several inches northwestern Arkansas, but just a trace once you get back on the Kansas side. So most of the rain has been along and south of I-44. This is going to continue through the evening hours. Bands of showers, even a few thunderstorms, southeastern counties. Everybody else really looks okay, just some drizzle. And then most of this rain is going to work out of here late tonight. We're still going to have the clouds. We'll drop back into the upper 30s for overnight lows, and then we should be dry as we head into the weekend. Temperatures kind of chilly, anywhere from mid-40s to mid-50s. In our southern counties, it's wet, as you can see, 7th and range line, so be careful if you are going to be out. Sitting at 50, some drizzle. Humidity is up there at about 96%. We're going to kind of hang steady near 50 over the next several hours. And then once the clouds start to break later on tonight, that's when our temperatures will start to drop back off into the upper 30s. So we have this system, which is working through. Out to the west, we have a weak little wave down through parts of Arizona that will shoot to our south by early next week. Besides that, we're pretty quiet for the next few days as we get a little break of any kind of action of showers or thunderstorms. So as we go into the morning hours for us tomorrow, we are going to have quite a few clouds most of the day. I do think maybe a little bit of sun trying to peek out late in the day, but our temperatures are going to struggle to warm up. 37 in the morning, 40 by noon, high temp, right around 41, 42 degrees. So it's going to be a pretty cold day. And then tomorrow night, we take a plunge. We go all the way down into lower 20s for overnight lows, and then a little bit better by the time Sunday rolls around as we get up to about 45 degrees. So the weekend, definitely chilly. 42 tomorrow, 45 on Sunday. 51 Monday. Next chance for rain not till Thursday. I was hoping that system would give us a little bit of snow, but it looks like it's going to be rain. So our chances for a white Christmas are the big 0.
0? Really? Okay. But maybe a white post-Christmas.
Correct.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, some of the year's most popular toys, but first we honor a local veteran. Aubrey Brock served in the U.S. Army from 1952 to 1958. The Galena, Kansas native was stationed in Korea, and we salute Corporal Aubrey Brock, a 4-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, a federal judge overturned an opioid settlement of more than $4 billion. The settlement had given Purdue Pharma, the maker of the prescription painkiller OxyContin, and it's given owners, the Sackler family, broad protection against civil litigation. It also resolved all outstanding civil suits against Purdue Pharma. The bankruptcy court says it lacked the statutory authority to give the Sackler family those protections. Utility giant Southern California Edison will pay a $550 million settlement for its role in multiple deadly California wildfires in 2017 and 2018. The electric supply company says the SCE is required to give $110 million to the state's general fund, $65 million to safety measures, and $375 million toward cost recovery. The utility will not be allowed to pass those costs on to customers. The fires in this suit killed 5 people, charred 385,000 acres, and destroyed 3,000 structures. A new agreement is on the table at Kellogg's. The company says it has reached a tentative deal with striking workers. The new agreement includes a cost of living adjustment and a raise for all workers. The last deal only included a cost of living adjustment. That was for some employees. Union members will vote on the deal this Sunday. Christmas just a little over a week away, and many parents are still searching for certain hard-to-find toys. Reporter Michael George has a look at some of the most popular.
Don't you feel like this is actual magic happening in your hands?
This is great. This is the Magic Mixies Cauldron. Kids add potion and some mystical ingredients to the empty cauldron. Tap the wand and presto, a Mixie pet appears. But buying one may require some magic of its own.
It is one of the hottest toys of the year.
The Toy Insider's Maddie Mahalik says parents are having a tough time getting them, along with gaming consoles, including the PlayStation 5, which is nearly impossible to find. If parents do come across one online, they should make sure it's from a legitimate retailer.
You don't want to get ripped off in any way and purchase a counterfeit toy.
These squishmallows are also on many kids' wish lists, and resellers are trying to take advantage by marking up the prices on auction sites. Toy supplies have been impacted by overseas cargo delays, but many retailers continue to see new stock come in. And even if a toy is out of stock online, parents might find it at a local store.
Don't be afraid to ask the manager of the store when they usually expect their shipments.
Another hint, many online retailers offer monthly subscriptions that can put shoppers at the front of the line.
And then they get perks, like VIP perks with special offers, or they get the first look at drops so they can get access to products earlier. We're gonna race and see who wins.
With holiday shopping hitting the home stretch, these tips can give parents a shot at securing those sought-after toys. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
A final check of the cool forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, Steve Hartman has the story of a mother's love and paying it forward. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on the recovery of nearly 100 catalytic converters in Joplin. Plus more about area hospitals and how the trends are moving in COVID-19 hospitalizations. And we'll hear from the Kansas City Chiefs after their big division win over the Chargers last night. Yeah, we're still excited about that too. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Betty White wants to thank you for being a friend. The Golden Girls actress is inviting fans to celebrate her 100th birthday with her. She's holding a bash nationwide with the movie titled Betty White 100 Years Young, a birthday celebration. People can buy the tickets now. It's going to play in 900 theaters across the country on January 17th. That's the day that Betty White marks the century milestone. Before you ask, yes, Betty and I went to high school together.
Yeah.
She was a grade ahead of me, as I recall.
Yeah. Well, you got held back.
There's that.
All right, weather-wise, It's going to be chilly over the weekend, only 42 tomorrow. Most of the day kind of hangs into the 30s, lower 20s tomorrow night, 45 on Sunday.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.